Hi everybody, it's Joe at Lucas. Man, have I got some great stuff coming to you today. We have a special guest, Andy. Andy is not, say hi, Andy.
Hello.
Okay, that was a resounding hello.
Yes,
Anyways, we have, Andy's an artist, right? Andy does wine and he does spirits. And I love that combination. You know, if we know like Dave Finney, for those of us that are out there, he's done a lot of wine, he's done spirits, he's crossed over. But this is actually the same company, which I think is really cool. So I want to talk, we carry some of the ammunition line as far as the wine. And how do I say this? Trollop?
Trollop.
These are just great wines. And I'm not want to focus on the wines. I just wanted them out so people could see them to try and get some name recognition as we talk about some of the spirits that we're bringing in. We got this one coming in, Sonoma Brothers. And this is here. This will be here. We got the gin. And then we have two that are a May release, which is ammunition. And these are off the wine barrels. But we're going to talk about those. Let's go right in and let's talk about gin. A winemaker doing spirits. I was skeptical. I want you to know that. And I'm sorry, okay? I just like... So tell me what's in the gin. What are we using to make the gin?
So the gin actually starts with a vodka base. It's more of a grain-based.
Okay.
Which starts with your corn and grape. You know, you're in wine country. You got to use grapes.
Absolutely.
And then you put in the coriander, the juniper, some fennel, and it just makes for a delicious gin. Now, there's a little secret ingredient, a little zest in there, which I know you can pick out, which is actually hand-zested orange zest. Makes for this nice finish of a citrus note.
So I hate to say this in front of the guy that makes it, but you know what makes it great? Is it's not expensive and it's unbelievably good. And I've already had it, but you know, when you talk about gins are so unique. You have a new world, old world, right? When we look into an old world gin, we got more of that punch, like a London dry gin, a lot more juniper. A new world gin is going to be more citrus from forward. So this is going to lean towards a new world gin. And by the way, he did a hell of a job. I mean, this is a good gin and it's under $30, guys. This is a great product. The nose is beautiful. It's soft. Wow. It's just all those flavors come out that you speak of, and it's gentle. It's something, I'm sorry, I'm going to talk over you because that's what I do.
But I was about to say something. I knew something was coming out.
I just want to share this one thing. You know, one of the things I always thought was, you know, why alcohol tasted bad is because of prohibition. They just made stuff, they put it in a bottle and we bought it. We don't have to do that any longer. If you can't drink it warm, don't buy it. This is outstanding. Please go ahead.
No, I'm just going to say is that I drink this neat as well as a little ice cube with a little orange wedge, and it is absolutely perfect.
I think it go neat all day long. Yeah. This is solid gin. I love the price point. It's just a really value product. Okay, let's go into, I want to go to ammunition because this is a little less expensive, and then the Sonoma is a little more expensive, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
No, good call.
So let's go right into this. Now this will be here May 1st, and I want to
start with the bourbon.
Yeah, let's start with the bourbon. I don't even want to say the rye was amazing, but let's not go there. Let's start with the bourbon. So tell me about the bourbon. So I'm assuming it's at which barrel is it out of?
It's finishing in our Cabernet barrels.
Okay, so it's going to be finished in that bottle. Well, not that bottle, but that barrel. Let's see what we got going on. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm a big whiskey aficionado. Love drinking it, especially after kind of the nightcap, end of the night, sipping. And actually, instead of wasting a glass, I just used one of my wine glasses, and I poured. Actually, I'm a big rye drinker. Poured it into my wine glass. It was holding Pinot Noir, and the way that the whiskey kind of infused with some residual wine, I was like, whoa, this flavor complexity is pretty cool. So I was researching, and there wasn't a lot of winery, like distilleries finishing in actually wine barrels that had held wine. It was all new wine barrels.
I love that.
So it has more of this. We actually had to go through a couple charcoal filters just to filter some of the residual wine before bottling and stuff. So pretty unique in terms of what's out there in terms of the marketplace.
That could be starting a trend now. You know that everybody listening is going to have booze in their wine glass at the end of an event. I think that's a great idea, by the way.
Exactly. Or start it at the beginning.
Yes, right? I love that. Okay, so this is done in the Cabernet barrel. So tell me about it. I know it's MGP, right?
Of course, yes.
Okay.
So started MGP. It's actually a blend of 2, 3, and 4-year-old bourbon.
Okay.
It's 60% corn, about 25% wheat, and then 10% rye, and the rest malted barley. So you get a lot of that caramel, butterscotch, all from the new American oak.
Ooh.
You get that nice grain, smokiness to it, but then that well-rounded nuance of the wine barrel. So pretty easy drinking, right?
You know, it's interesting.
Dangerous.
It's you know, I always want to be a proper critic of anything, because when someone comes into the store, I want you to make sure you get what you're asking for. This is a good product. You know, I'm an age snob. I like to see stuff older. This holds up extremely well and actually beats the age. You know, it's like other products that are younger that really deliver. This delivers on the flavor. Super important, right? I got a beginning, a middle, and an end when I drink it. It's got a nice palate. It's well done. Super
Awesome.
well done.
It's interesting. The same way that you approach whiskey, very similar to wine. You always want to look at the color, the way that it smells on the nose, and then how it first hits your mouth. Just kind of the 3 steps to drinking, right? So
Absolutely. And then I add one more, right? I want to know if it continues on my palate, right? Beginning, middle, and an end. I was taught, one of my buddies from Kentucky always said, everything has a story, a beginning, a middle, and an end. That's one of those things. So, because you pick up different things. If you really take it apart when you're drinking it, you pick up different things. So let's go on to the rye. I thought the rye is interesting. The rye kind of took me aside. I think this is spectacular rye. So tell me a little bit about the thought process that went into this one.
So I'm a big rye fan, actually, is what I tend to on the whiskey front. And with rye, because of its spicy notes, it makes for good old fashions for myself particularly. But the way that the Pinot Noir integrates with this actually helps kind of the spice linger longer. And if you think about Burgundy barrels or how you age Pinot Noir, those are known for these high vanilla notes. And so the vanilla complementing the rye spice, it just makes for this really nice ending to this rye whiskey here. So
I tell you what, this was a shocker. When I drank it, I was like, wow, that's super freaking good. This is a good rye. This is a rye that I would definitely drink neat. It's got a great soft nose, and I want that. I don't want to smell a ton of alcohol. You know, it's funny. It's like it's vanilla rye. I don't know. That's what I get. I get this burst of vanilla.
Well, you can't say that because like the label department will come after you, right?
Uh-oh.
But it definitely has that that finish that makes it delicious.
Well, they're gonna have to catch me. Anyways, it's the bottom line is it's good. It comes here May 1, and I tell you what, this is a bottle I want on my bar. Okay, I'm getting one. It's open. Anyways, let's go on to this one. Let's go on to Sonoma Brothers. Okay, let's talk about these. So again, a couple more whiskeys and some bourbon. What do we got going on here? We'll do the bourbon first. Tell me about this bourbon.
So the Sonoma Brothers, you know, we have twin brothers that are one's a police officer, one's a fireman.
Oh, I love that, guys. This is first responder alcohol. Let's not forget that, okay?
And so the two brothers, Brandon, it tends to be the police sergeant, is kind of the master, well, the head distiller, and he's been helping me with my whiskey project. And obviously they do a beautiful gin here. And they've been doing, you know, just a small batch with this small 200-liter pot still, and all really kind of locally sourced bourbon grains for this. It was at 70% corn, the rest kind of malted barley, and it's just, I think they're aging over 4 years now, just about 3 and 4. All California. They have the one unique accolade of being one of the original distilleries in California. There's only, I think, less than 10. And this is 100% California whiskey, not MGP, not any of that stuff. All kind of locally sourced, non-GMO.
How old is this?
It's just touching the 4-year age statement. So
okay, so we're I think we're there. I mean, that's where ironic could be.
You taste this, and it's
well, one of the things I love about bourbon. Sorry for talking over you. Not really. It's kind of what I do. Anyways, one of the things I love about bourbon is really learning the regions with which I drink it. Illinois, New York, Florida, Washington. I don't care. I'm not, I mean, I love Kentucky bourbon. I love Indiana bourbon. I love them all. They all have this unique flavor. So now I'm really interested. Now that I talked through that, and you know, this is California bourbon, right?
It is. Yep.
Grain to glass.
Grain to glass.
4 years old.
I believe it says it on the bottle. Grain to glass. California grown grain to glass spirits.
See, they even
100%.
they knew my marketing ploy there.
That is.
Anyways,
But yeah, but they were.
This is solid.
And as first responders, obviously they've survived the pandemic and have been through that. They made hand sanitizer to help out the local communities and the needs. So just really awesome brothers, and have fortunate to work with them and represent them across the country. So such exclusivity on the bourbon and rye is that there's only 4 states outside of California that carry these products.
Okay.
The gin is in a few more states, but the bourbon and rye is really pretty hard to find. So it's,
running a little thinner.
yeah,
You know what, guys? Solid bourbon. What I like about it is it tastes different, right? It doesn't taste like it's California bourbon, and it's real California bourbon. Too often, everything ends up being MGP, and I really want to learn. I love learning from different places. I do. I think it's amazing. I think when you put it up against Kentucky, everything has different flavors. And I think if we do that as a consumer, we really start to learn. So here's a true California bourbon done with California water,
that's right.
earthquakes and everything.
The earthquake bourbon.
4
That's
years
exactly
old.
right.
There we go. I think it's pretty damn good.
Well, and the uniqueness with the copper pot still, right, 200-liter batch, you actually get an extra silkiness, like that viscosity. There's a little bit more thickness to it, which is very unique versus the humidity climates that you see with Kentucky and Indiana and some of the stuff.
Is there rye in there? How much rye is in there?
What was it? It's 4%, right? It's 5%. Yep.
I
Look at this.
I get that
True
little
connoisseur right here.
I get that little spice. You gotta work these people over a little bit. I want you guys to know.
Yeah,
Actually, it's really good. It's different. I'm enjoying it, and I think it's a good one. It's a good one to add to our bar. We want to expand our selections of bourbon. This is how we do it. Solid bourbon, and that'll be on the shelf. Excellent. Okay, let's go on to the rye. So ryes are a little harder all the time.
Right.
Grain to glass. I like that. Okay, tell me about this now.
So
How old is this?
same. It's about 4 years, and you can see we're on like what was it? Batch number 12.
That's number 12. Hey, so I want to give you guys a quick update. Remember, ryes, we don't want ryes to be very old when we're purchasing them. There are exceptions to the rule, and that's when you pay a lot for a rye. But for the most part, ryes age between 5 to 7 years. That is the consistent method for any rye, whether it be a Pennsylvania style or Maryland style. Do you know the difference?
I do not know the
I
difference.
love that. Quiz the winemaker on video, all right?
That's it.
So let's find out. So do we know the mash bill?
At least I'm honest. I mean, I'm
That's
sure others
true.
some kind of
It was,
BS
yeah,
to
it could have been
so-
never mind.
Anyways.
So do we know mash bill? What's mash bill?
It's 95% rye.
So that's going to be Pennsylvania
Malted
style.
barley.
So
Yeah.
anytime you have so I'll just do a real quick recap, guys. On a Pennsylvania rye, it's generally going to be 80-20 high-low rye, the majority of it. Okay, that's my understanding. Everybody, there's a lot of experts out there, but so I'm giving you my understanding of it. When you get into a Maryland style rye, you're going to have 51% rye minimum, so we can call it a rye, 80-20 high-low rye, and we're going to add corn and malt. Anytime you're adding malt at less than 5%, it's generally for the chemical reaction, and it might not be the right word to say, in the distillation process. All right, so that's kind of a quick understanding. So this, what you're telling us, is a Pennsylvania style rye, and that means it should have spice, spice, spice. Remember, beginning, middle, and an end. That's the difference in your ryes as you're trying to learn them. Out of Sonoma, by firefighters and police officers.
So one of the great things about their rye
Wow.
is it is so nice and smooth, and they also integrate a couple smaller 30-gallon barrels in their stuff to get a little bit more of the oak on it, and it is just.
So I got to throw something in there. For those of you that have been buying rice from me for a long time, and when I separate you and I get you into that style, whether it's a Maryland or a Pennsylvania style rye, what I really like about this, this is definitely a Pennsylvania style rye. You're going to get the rye in the front of your mouth, the middle of your mouth, and the back of your mouth. However, it's very delicate. It almost is a mash between the two. Now, I don't know how they do it. I got to really understand it and dig in deeper. It's a super delicate rye. It's actually super solid, very easy to drink. These are all spirits that you could drink or make a cocktail with.
Just an ice cube, or if you want to dabble with the old fashioned or Manhattan, you know?
Those winemakers with those ice cubes. I like an empty glass and you fill it and you enjoy it. So, hey, Andy, I got to tell you something. Thank you very much for coming from Sonoma. Did you come for the snowstorm or you came after the snowstorm?
I came this morning.
Yeah, he came after the snowstorm. That's okay.
Or not, you know?
That's all right. Anyways, I thank you very much for stopping it, Lucas. I appreciate
Thanks for
it.
having me. I appreciate
Absolutely.
it. Thanks for tasting these today.
Hey guys, remember, these are all amazing spirits. We got these in stock now. These are coming. Hey, always, thanks for shopping at Lucas, one bottle at a time. We truly appreciate your business. You guys have an amazing day, and we will talk with you soon.